Polyatomic formula writing is worksheet number 3 in your set of worksheets. Polyatomic means a group of atoms. They are found on the back of your periodic table. To write their formulas, follow the same procedure for the metal. So sodium, I need to know its symbol is +1. Nitrate is something from the back of the table, so I will look it up and I find its formula is NO3. It has a charge of negative, which is a -1. These two charges balance out, so I leave NaNO3 as my formula. The crisscross cancelled out and no brackets are required. Calcium phosphate, calcium is a +2, symbol is Ca. Phosphate I look up on the back of my table and I find that its formula is PO4. It is a -3. These two numbers are going to need to be crisscrossed, so the 3 will move to the middle, behind the calcium, and the 2 will move to the end of the phosphate. Before I put a 2 on one of the groups of ions, I need to put it in a brackets before the 2. The brackets are required on groups of ions when you are going to add a number to them. These are only for the ones on your back of your table. Ammonium phosphate. Ammonium is hard to find. It is the only positive ion on the back of the table. Its symbol is NH4. It has a charge of +1. Sulfide. Now this is sulfide IDE, which is not from the back of the table. That is just the symbol S for sulfur. And if I look up the element sulfur, it is a -2. So I need to crisscross and bring a 2 to the ammonium. To do that, it's from the back of the table, so it needs brackets and a 2. The 1 would go to the end of the sulfur, but we never write the 1s. My last example, copper 1 sulfate. The Roman numeral tells me copper is going to be a +1 charge, so Cu will be sulfate is SO4, and it is a -2. Okay, when I do my crisscross, I'm going to put the 2 here with the copper. Copper does not need brackets because it is from the front of the table. Naming is similar to before, except we do not need to change the endings to "ide", and we only have to decide if they need to have a Roman numeral. My first example, NH4, is always named ammonium. And NO3, I look up on the back of the table, nitrate. Nothing further is required for this name. My next example is still NH4, so it is still ammonium. And S is sulfur, so this will be sulfide. Ending will change to "ide" if it's a non-metal. Sulfide is not from the back of the table, so you would need to change its ending to "ide". My next example, number 3, is magnesium. And PO4 I can find from the back of the table, which is phosphate. Magnesium has only 1 charge, so you need no Roman numeral. So don't add anything to the middle of magnesium. Okay, even though there's a number 3, that is from the phosphate. That is not a Roman numeral. For my next example, CrSO4, Cr is chromium. SO4 is sulfate. Chromium, when I look it up on my table, it has more than 1 charge. This guy needs to have a Roman numeral. To decide which Roman numeral to use, I need to look at sulfate. Sulfate is a -2 on the back of the table. Chromium can be +3 or +2. As before, I want to choose my Roman numeral to balance out the minus side. So if I have a -2, that means +2 is the balancing one, so I have chromium 2 sulfate. And those are examples of polyatomic formulas.